What's going on, guys? It's AQ and my amazing realtor partner, Catherine here.
Hey.
Going to answer one of your amazing questions and topics that you always bring up. And today, we're going to go ahead and talk about current homeowners, right? And what does the process look like if you're selling and buying another one afterwards?
Right. So that comes up a lot with, especially people now, and especially during COVID a lot, because they were like saying, okay, well, I want to sell my home. You know, I definitely want to move. But how does that look like if we haven't bought one yet? So we really don't have a place to go yet. So we want to sell, where are we going to go, right? So there's several things that can happen. So basically, but the main one that I would strongly suggest is it's doable. It's called a contingent sale.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the seller, what we would tell people on other agents, I've put on the MLS basically saying that the owner is contingent on finding a replacement property. So the buyer knows that they have, you know, whatever X amount of time we'll put down, maybe it's 3 months till we find a new place, whatever the circumstances may be. And we'll say, okay, so now we won't be able to, the seller won't be able to leave until that replacement property is closed. So that way the buyers know, hey, it's gonna take a little time to get into the property, but it is doable. Done it tons of times, it works, and
Yeah.
it's not hard. It just seems like it, like for the sellers, because they're like, where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? You know, it's doable.
Yeah, as you can tell, it can get very complex, but when you make it very simple and your contract is written up properly,
Yes,
and you're
that's
submitting it to
important.
a listing agent, right? This listing agent knows that, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you're solid because you're probably gonna have a hefty down payment because from the sale of your property,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they know that going in, and especially in the market we're going into, and this goes into, you know, the topic
Yeah.
of is it a great time to buy? And
Mm-hmm.
always yes in this situation, because you're not gonna be as much competition and the inventory is opening up a little bit more, so you have a little bit more leverage.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that now it would be a little easier as far as time-wise to find a replacement property, whereas before it was a little bit tougher just because of COVID and the house, you know, the buyer's demand and everything. But now, like I said, it would be a little easier, or like you said, I'm sorry, but it's doable, and I want to stress that so much. And then also, before you, as a seller, want to buy, you have to get pre-approved with Anthony first, because that is, you have to know exactly what you're looking at, how much equity is involved, you know, are you going to use that equity for the new purchase? All that comes into play. So we have to sit down, and I normally like to bring Anthony along with me on that, so that way we both go over all the questions you may have, so you know, everything's transparent. We do everything, we're forthcoming with everything, the process. You know exactly what it's gonna entail and how it's gonna work, and so you're not left in the dark wondering what the heck to do or what's next. We're laying it out for you. And then also, it's very important that your agent is very transparent with the buyer's agent, letting them know exactly what's going on, that this is what's going on, they're moving to Arizona, wherever or whatever, and it's gonna take a couple months. And so we need 90 days until we find the replacement property, whatever it entails. So again, that's why you need a professional real estate agent that knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
Because if not, if you hire someone that doesn't know and they just put your home on the market and they're like, yeah, we can get you another home, but they don't relay the message on the MLS and let the agent know, it just creates so many problems, so much drama, unneeded stress on you as the seller and the other agent, or the other buyer as well. So it's just better to do it that way. So transparency is key in this process.
Exactly. And then to touch upon that as well on the loan side, right? Because that's the real estate side, you're contingent, but how does
Yeah.
it look on the loan side, right?
Right.
This is where I come into play. There's usually two routes we can go with it, right? The first one is the most common, where we qualify you on the new purchase contingent of selling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing your old mortgage is no longer going to exist, because that's getting paid off through the sale, and then you would have your down payment going through there, right? It's a pretty easy process to do that. The second one, which I'll throw in here, which is also a good tactic as well, is we can do what's called a bridge loan. A lot of people don't know about this. So like, for example, we can go ahead and essentially, quote unquote, purchase your home so you have full amount of equity ready to go, and knowing your house has already been sold to basically us, you have a full basically availability of pre-approval to go purchase a new home. So you are no longer contingent because we're basically investor currently buying your home at top dollar. So that's another route as well we can do
Right.
and maximize your purchasing power. So that might be more useful if you're going towards, let's say, that luxury price range, right? If you're going
Right.
800,000, 900,000, million, 2 million, right? Because at that point, they might not be ready or specifically waiting for the contingent. They might be in a hurry now because
Right.
they, let's say on the other end of it, you start doing multiple contingencies in place. Let's say they want to go and upgrade their house and they're selling to
Yeah.
buy another one. There
It's
can
better to
become
do it that way.
that centipede effect where you need one domino to fall in order for the rest to fall, right? So this is where we have that other option in order to make that process that much faster.
Right. And that's definitely something that obviously, right, not every lender knows that and knows all these ins and outs. So that's why it's very important, again, to be with a professional lender and agent that can help you through this process.